All right, so we're just gonna run it back from yesterday. We 4-1'd one league, and the one match we lost was due to a Neoform opponent who had to turn 2 all 3 games. I think I am just gonna run it back after not updating the sideboard. Like, I don't really want to play Vexing Baubles because they are just kind of awkward with the fight rigging stuff. The Trinisphere is also like a little awkward too, but the Trinispheres have been really good. And I think I'm just gonna, if Neoform's not a favorable matchup, that's okay. Okay, so we have no Imprintable for the Ugin's Lab. I think this is still a fine hand to keep. If we do draw the Imprintable, we can go turn 1 Trudge, turn 2 Green Sun for Fanatic. We could also draw Fanatic on the draw against a Affinity start. Okay, well now if we draw an Imprintable, we're going to go for fight rigging, I suppose. They play a second Emery immediately. So they need to find something. They do find stuff. They find a Crypt, they find a Bauble, they find an Opal. Big sign of weakness. What are good sideboard cards versus Affinity? Some questions are tough to answer. Some questions are easy. Good sideboard cards against Affinity, blow up all artifacts. In our deck, we're playing Creeping Corrosion. You can play Fade into History. You can play... So I did not draw the Imprintable. You can play Meltdown. You can play Shatterstorm. You can play Force of Vigor. You can play Vexing Bauble to stop their spells being cast. Yeah, Shadow Kataki. Maybe I'm not supposed to get the Arbor. I think it's okay just to try to be mana efficient here. So here's the Kappa Cannoneer. Not too surprised this is here. I guess they're going to play a Bauble after this. So I guess we're also going to be just really reliant on hitting like a Disciple of Freyalise or an Emrakul off the fight rigging. A little late on the Fanatic. Would have been much better last turn. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I think this deck is like a crazy combination of like fun and broken. Bauble and Chalice only on the play. They can still be good on the draw because like a lot of their hands involve like Emery or involve weapons manufacturing, which they are still going to be good. Vexing Bauble and Chalice are still good against those. So they have Claws of Gix, which means I can just start sacking their permanents too. It's just kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go and we're gonna get another Opal. We don't really care about triggering the Kappa Cannoneer because we just have Claws of Gix in play. And I imagine they're just going to concede once we activate the Claws a single time. So I guess we'll just do that. Yeah. and we could replay Opal off Emery. I think we could sack almost their whole board. All right, so bring in the Collector Ouphe. We'll bring in the Chomping Changeling. We'll bring in the Creeping Corrosions. So that's going to be 5 cards in. And so last time I cut 4 Devourers and I cut 1 Rumble. And how did I feel about this? Maybe I go down a Mycospawn instead. I think that's okay, especially on the draw. It's still, we still have 3 ways to get the bridge off the Mycospawn. This board Mosswort Bridge is just hiding there, but like getting the bridge off the Mycospawn is like such a big part of this deck, I think. Is Denial ever a thought in the Trudge deck? I mean, it's definitely a thought. Not going to be as much of a thought if you're playing one of these builds that's like sacrificing it. I guess this one isn't so much. How did Mardu go? We went 2-0 into 2-3, and we beat the linear deck, so we lost to the creature decks, which is a bad look for the Mardu build, I think. You kind of want it to be doing the opposite. I did think that the arc looked pretty good. So we do have a Creeping Corrosion. We have no green mana, no Imprintable for the lab. Okay, so this hand does have an Imprintable for the lab, and we can go turn 1 Trudge, turn 2 Ouphe, potentially turn 3 Mycospawn, and if we can get our Hideaway land. So they mill an Emissary and they mill a Kappa Cannoneer. I guess I'll play this. Why Changeling? Because it's Eldrazi. And so you can actually not cast Chomping Changeling with Eldrazi Temple. It's not a colorless Eldrazi spell. It's a green Eldrazi spell. I'm playing Chomping Changeling because it is a 1/2 that blocks Ocelot Pride versus a 2/1 which doesn't. And I boarded it against Boros. And that's about it. It's not super deep. And yeah, there's not a better green Sunnable Rex Age effect. This is somehow still like the best we got. So it seems like they're going to be able to cast Kappa Cannoneer next turn. Maybe they're going to cast it this turn. Maybe I should just cast Fight Rigging. The Creeping Corrosion also a good hit here. We brick really hard. I guess I'm going to cast a Rumble. Didn't even find one of my MDFCs. So guess I'm gonna get a temple. The next turn I'm probably gonna be Mycospawning for the bridge. Maybe I'll kick the Mycospawn and get rid of Urza Saga. The problem with Chalice gets destroyed by explosives in your main deck. Tap Urza for explosives. That is a problem with it. Yeah, I mean Chalice also, like, if you're playing Chalice of the Void in your deck, it's because you feel like its value is elsewhere. Like it's also good against Boros and Prowess for you. Oh, so they're holding up Counter Magic / Saga token. So I don't think we play the Creeping Corrosion. So they replicate their Mycospawn, so we're not going to be able to get our Mosswort Bridge. Pretty soon we're going to have a big old Slumbering Trudge, though. We'll see if my opponent goes for the Kappa Cannoneer. They may like get Skateboard this turn and then haste. I haven't seen Titan Wild something get bad. No, and we've played against it a good bit lately. So they do make a construct. Maybe they'll get Mox Opal and then cast Kappa. Maybe they just won't cast Kappa. They do get a Skateboard. They don't even take the opportunity to hilariously tap my Fight Rigging. So this is going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll be at 4 after I cast the Creeping Corrosion. Might end up hardcasting that Disciple of Freyalise next turn. Draw 10, gain 10. I got rid of my Fanatic of Rhonas there. So I do get to untap this next turn and have a 10-10. They might Explosives it, I guess. I do have a Kappa or Ouphe in my hand at least. There is a BNR on Monday. I don't know that we can, like... I don't know if you should ever expect anything, but... I'm not exactly expecting anything. So they cast Skateboard. Do they have a... If they have a Mox Opal, we lose, I guess. Okay, wow. Crazy win. Let's see what we would have drawn. Ugin's Lab. So Ugin's Lab would not have let me cast the Disciple. Game 3 on the play. Is Break the also good against Affinity? Sometimes we'll cite in like exactly one copy, but I wouldn't say it's particularly good, no. I'm actually going to cut the Formidable Speaker. It's kind of weird because Speaker's like kind of good to tutor up Ouphe sometimes, but we're just going to Green Sun for Ouphe, so we don't need the Green Sun payoff, and I think it's kind of the weakest card in our deck. We do have turn 2 Fight Rigging, but we don't have a Trudge, so I think we're going to have to mulligan that. Had just like nothing else going on. This is a 1-lander, but we're gonna go to 5. Evan with the 83. Good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know. I ended up being so busy with Strixhaven. I don't know that I'm gonna end up making a BNR video like I'd hoped. Trinisphere not good. It's pretty situational. I wouldn't exactly recommend it. We boarded in a lot of other cards too. So obviously pretty reliant on our sideboard cards here. We'll see how it goes. Snack with 8 months, thank you. They just play a bobble and they pass. I think I'll just save the life instead of playing this to hope to draw another lab. Also, if we draw an imprintable, we can. Although we only have 3 imprintables left in the deck right now. Oh boy. Well, that's the best draw by a million years, although I'm going to take the turn to chomp up the weapons. So this continues to be a big problem, the Harbinger of the Seas. It does seem like one of the biggest weaknesses of the deck, if you don't already have like a Fanatic in play. His hand's very close. I think I have to mulligan. If this was like a regular forest, his hand's like really good, I think. Okay, keep this one. Probably just put back second fight rigging, so we could try to rumble into a trudge to pay off for the first one. Yeah, it seems so hard to like become better against the moon effects because you have to play all of these MDFCs and you have to play the creatures as like the mana rocks. Like we could be playing Force of Vigor and Dismember, I guess. Against Affinity, it's kind of tough because you don't actually know if they're going to play Harbinger or if they're going to play Blood Moon. A lot of times it's Harbinger, but it's not like for sure Harbinger. Probably not too likely to hardcast this game. Just play it tapped. Yeah, you have to play like Force of Vigor. It'd be cool if like you had something that could deal with both. Turn 2 Ice-Still with a fetch land. Could play the Cycler. Generous Hint? It's not like a very good hit off fight rigging. It's like much worse than the other ones. So if they have Mycospawn, I'd prefer them not to hit my lab. Okay, I did hit a Trudge. Also play around Devourer by not playing fight rigging out. Do you think any of the green Eldrazi or board decks is still better than any of these Trudge decks? I mean, I mean the Eldrazi Maverick deck. I mean, we had like a phenomenal run with it, and we haven't picked it up since then. I think that this is the best Trudge deck. I think it took us a while to get here, but I feel pretty confident this is the best Trudge deck. Although this deck is, you know, weak to Blood Moon. It's maybe okay to be weak to Blood Moon. Does seem like this is a Mycospawn, which means that I am. I also milled a World Breaker. Their draw is so good. This is their turn 3. Any plans to play more of the Teamer Rec deck? I thought about maybe playing it in the challenge. We'll see. Yeah, they can just go sack World Breaker and then World Breaker me next turn. And then get something off the Sanctum. So I guess what we could do is we can bait World Breaker maybe on Ugin's Labyrinth. So we can go like cast Trudge this next turn. Although they could just Devour. Maybe we'll just lose, you know, on the draw against one of the best red-green Eldrazi draws I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a Trudge this turn, and I'm gonna hope that they go for the World Breaker line instead of going for the Devour line, and I'm gonna hope that they are too enchanted by the ability to get rid of my Ugin's Lab with World Breaker, and I can go fight rigging into Emrakul. Although it's not even likely that happens. And they choose the Devourer route, which I think makes sense. And we'll go to game 2. This matchup has felt good when we played it in the past, for whatever that's worth. Do I want a Chomping Changeling? How often am I going to Green Sun to like Stone Rain them? I do want the Ghost Quarter. I've been kind of happy to like board out the Devourers in these Eldrazi matchups. It's going to be. I think I probably want a Formidable Speaker over a Chomping Changeling. Yeah. On the play. Dryad Arbor yet again mocking us. This hand would be the nuts without it. I do think I'm going to keep. So I think what this hand wants to do, assuming my Arbor doesn't get K commanded on turn 1, is this hand wants to go Green Sun for Fanatic on turn 2, and that way if they don't have disruption for my creatures, I can go Trudge, turn on the Fanatic, cast Fight Rigging, and cast something off the Fight Rigging. Um and then if they do have disruption for like the Dryad Arbor on turn 2, then we can go from there. No, we just don't want to. We need this to live. It's somewhat likely. I mean, they have Heat and they have K command, but they have to have the double land. Maybe they have a lot of double lands. Maybe it's not that likely for it to live. There's an Ugin Lab. They have multiple imprintables, I would think, with them taking that long to imprint. Nice. We drew a green source anyways. Oh my gosh, I meant to cast the Green Sun. I guess it's kind of fine. Sorry, I don't know. I did just kind of click the wrong card here. Well, we hit an Emrakul despite 2 already being accounted for. Just trying to get my Dryad Arbor out of a K return range. So they pass back. Maybe they will just K return. No, they get a forest. They rumble. They hit Temple, Sprawl, or Heath. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but it is true that the Emrakul is not going to be all that good on this board state. I can make them sack the spawn. I could put the Emrakul back in their hands. How is Tiny Bones joins up as 1 mana black discard outlet with upside? Can you target yourself with it? I thought it was only target opponent. Still a clock. I mean, it's still very good. And then we could also go Green Sun for Fanatic this turn. And then next turn we can hardcast the Disciple of Freyalise to draw like 8 cards, gain 8 life. Oh, you can target yourself? I mean, it's not a very good discard outlet. Yeah, you should be able to enchant Dryad Arbor with Utopia Sprawl if you have no fear at all. Alright, so we're gonna get the Fanatic. We're gonna cast another turn 3 Emrakul. They should sack their spawn now. Well, or they could do that. Isn't there like Utopia Spell that gives Shroud? There's not a 1 mana one. There may be a maybe like a 2 mana effect like that. Okay, well, definitely keeping this. Darksteel Garrison's that weird time spiral set, right? Like you have to play it for 2 mana and then you have to spend 3 mana to fortify something. My opponent's on a Mold of 6 on the play. Y'all think we're gonna draw Fight Rigging? That's one of those future sight mechanics that was somehow never revisited. Yeah, I mean, it seems tough to track. Oh, you equip it. Okay, so that's not as tough to track. It seems like one of the worst cards ever. Like 5 mana to make a land indestructible, and then when it gets tapped, give something +1. That's got to be one of the worst cards of all time. Alright, so they have a Utopia Sprawl. Interesting they didn't get they got Stomping Ground instead of a basic. I guess it doesn't really matter this matchup. Mudhole. Target player exiles all land cards in their graveyard. I mean, that's like at least good against like Life from the Loam, you know? All right, they mull to 6, but they've got 4 Eldrazi mana, 3 normal person mana on turn 2. Maybe they're thinking about what to do with their Kozilek's command. Is it though doesn't have to loam? I mean, like it's not. It's bad. This card is very very bad. It seems better than Darksteel Garrison. Sometimes. My opponent decides to go with another Utopia Sprawl. And maybe also K command. Okay, and a Rumble. They rumble over Ugin. Emrakul Mycospawn. They have 3, 4, 5. So they would need Lab plus Imprintable to Ugin next turn. They're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types for Emrakul. So Emrakul costs 8, but they just go with the Mycospawn. All right, so let me not imprint the Emrakul to the lab because they've got a Mycospawn. And we are currently very thirsty to Sowing Mycospawn get a Ghost Quarter for the Stomping Ground. We're not going to be able to kick it unless we draw a land if they Mycospawn me this turn, which we can expect them to. They have that, and they have 3 other cards in their hand. They do have now 7 Eldrazi mana. So if they have a Devourer, they could cast that. They didn't reveal a Devourer in their opening hand. Shout out Sorrow's Path. Oh, my friend Zach, he had I think it's Reki, had a Reki commander deck, and I suggested Sorrow's Path for his deck. And I don't remember what Reki does, but I remember like Sorrow's Path was like weirdly like worked well enough in his deck to play. Are you aware of any stack pieces that say creatures of permanence can't enter with counters? Like some easy way to cheat Moonshadows and Trudges into play. I think there's a Beetle that does that only for opponent stuff. Yeah, Solemnity. Wouldn't be a good plan. Yeah, so I'm hoping we could draw a land and we can go kick Mycospawn, get rid of their temple, and Ghost Quarter the Stomping Ground. Yeah, Dress Down works. I think Dress Down counts because it's accomplishing what they're wanting, even if it's not exactly explicitly what they're asking for. I guess if I draw a land, I could also go, like, cast a Mycospawn, get a temple, cast another Mycospawn, get a Ghost Quarter. What are they thinking so long about? Just get an Eldrazi. Maybe they could get Sanctum? They get Basic Forest. Dude, imagine they don't have another Basic Forest, I'm going to get them with the Ghost Quarter. Okay, this is so, and so they're playing this so they can play around my fight rigging. Okay, cool play. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go cast Rumble first into Eldrazi Temple. So this is now enough to kick? Yes. This is devastating. Yeah, I couldn't find a Radiant Fountain build that looked a direction to go with it that looked like even that close to playable, so we moved on to this. I'm gonna go for the Draw Step Ghost Quarter because they don't have K command mana. If they did have still 2 colorless, I would Ghost Quarter now. Can we cast Emrakul next turn? We've got 7 mana and it costs 8, so we have to draw a land. Do they have a 3rd basic? I think they do a lot of the time. Not super opposed to just kicking Mycospawn again next turn. Could maybe go kick Mycospawn into Thought-Knot Seer even if we draw the land. Am I getting punished? What you got? They're tapping. They have Beseiju? Kozilek's Return? Just floating, maybe? The Utopia Sprawls exist in a state between life and death there for a second. They do have a 3rd basic. I think I feel fine about kick Mycospawn into Thought-Knot Seer over Emrakul this turn. At least I don't need to worry about it too much because I can't really imagine losing either way. Yeah. Even just the Mycospawn's enough. Okay, so we've got I think this is turn 1 Trudge. And then we go Rumble turn 2 if we miss on Imprintable, but if we find Imprintable, we Green Sun for Fanatic. We could also just draw Fanatic, I guess. And then I'll probably Rumble off of the Disciple of Freyalise, so I could potentially just put an Imprintable into my hand. We'll see. Mycospawn almost definitely getting me my Mosswort Bridge. Steelcutter isn't an enabler? Yeah, I would say Steelcutter is payoff. Like Mishra's Bauble is an enabler for Steelcutter, you know? Basic Island. Have a big think. Pass the turn. Okay, more likely to cast Disciple, so we'll play the Turntimber here. Grab the Fight Rigging. How much worse would Emrakul 15 be in this deck? I love casting cards so dang much. This is definitely a Promised End build. Like, you're just so good at casting Promised End. Now they play Inventor's Fair. What the heck does Inventor's Fair mean? It's just normal affinity? They're saying they've got Metallic Rebuke up. So let's play the card that's good into the Metallic Rebuke, I guess. Honestly, denying it's kind of funny because it does stop some power toughness for my bridge, although I just have another Trudge. So we'll hide away the Turntimber Symbiosis. If I draw an Imprintable, next turn I can go Trudge, Turntimber, and cast Fight Rigging. Plays a basic island. Taps 2 mana. I thought you were my friend, Durayo. So spell number 2 has been cast. Boomerang basics, and then they do get to flip the Urayo. Is this what it feels like? So if I play the Mycospawn, I'm going to be 1 short of just activating the bridge. I guess let's just go Green Sun into the Urayo. I think I'm just going to cast the Turntimber Symbiosis instead of casting the Fight Rigging. I think the Mycospawn can maybe act as food for the Fight Rigging. I'm going to try Groundbreaker for another 7 power. I'll do Groundbreaker. Green, green, green. Green, green, green dies end of turn. I don't know, it's just Green Sun. Just Green Sun for your other enabler. So we're attacking for 19 next turn. Oh, we're attacking for 20 if we can cast the Fight Rigging. Does Hideaway not cast? It does, but we didn't cast Emrakul. We cast Turntimber Symbiosis, which put Emrakul into play. I guess you could Boomerang Basics Emrakul. It doesn't have protection from sorceries. They mill a Bauble, they mill a Crypt, they mill an Amber. This Inventor's Fair is really throwing me off. If I draw a land, I can go Mycospawn into Fight Rigging. If I draw a cheap spell, I can cast that into Urayo and play Fight Rigging. Right, land. The Tormod's Crypts mean they're probably a Kappa Cannoneer build. They're acting like they got a rebuke. Oh, they say, oh, I didn't realize it's you. It is me. I'm on a Brute 2. I can tell. GLHF. I don't know, maybe Oasis is better. Nethergoyf, Lesson Reanimator. I have a hard time imagining I'd want to play Nethergoyf in a Lesson Reanimator deck. You just kind of need to play generic good cards for the most part. Do I want Disciple of Freyalise or do I want Emrakul? I don't feel like controlling them is necessarily that good here. But you know what is good? Drawing 13, gaining 13. We're going to be conservative, draw 13 instead of 14. Oh, maybe I should have sacked the... I should have sacked the Trudge, sorry. This was the... whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I saw I could draw 13, and I don't know what happened. I got 13 cards in my hand now. I don't know how we got here. I just blacked out. I keep one of the 1-drops. I don't know, guys. Sometimes you gotta draw 13. They have 13 cards in their hand now. Alright, I'm gonna go refill my water while my opponent finishes this turn. You know, this is the problem with paradoxical outcome. This is kind of like the turn you can expect to have after casting paradoxical outcome. I don't know if we care that much about the Emrakul effect. Let's see, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we should just Mycospawn into the Uraio. He goes green set for 0, right? I mean, this is better. It's crazy the kicker is free when you grab Temple. I mean, that's not true. You can't like put the Temple into play and then cast kicker. Yeah, they should have used their crypt. That's true. If they crypted in response to the Mycospawn, that would have been pretty awkward. Yeah, it's a Mark Aguirre shirt. I was at the game where they retired his jersey. All right, they go to 3. I get to mind control them. They should not be sacking this bauble. This is your hand after outcoming? Well, there's an Aetherflux Reservoir in the discard. Okay. Obviously, we all want to sack the Inventor's Fair to look at their deck. Is that the move, though? I can't really do, like, a lot after that. I guess I can go... Amber... Play Saga... Can you Reservoir kill with Reservoir? I mean, like, almost certainly not. I guess I maybe just shouldn't have attacked. Could you have searched for claws? I mean, they might have claws in their deck. Whatever, let's sack the fair. Yeah, we'll crypt them for sure. Okay, they have explosives. Is there anything I can do with the Emery that's, like, helpful? Not really. So we're going to crack the crypt and hold priority. Cast another Emery to mill before crypt. Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably good. I guess I didn't look that close at their deck, but it just kind of seemed like the classic ambitious, I'm gonna brew around Aetherflux Reservoir! Oh, sorry, a paradoxical outcome! I'm just gonna draw a bunch of cards and make a bunch of mana, and the fact that my Moxen are legendary is not gonna bother me none. Think you'd have played the Otawara out? I guess I didn't really care about it, but maybe I should have cared about it. I don't know I don't know if I can bring it. They can't really beat this turn. I mean, they have bounce for it. think I'm just gonna slide as if they're normal affinity. Outcome is much better where you can play like Mox Sapphire. I don't know. Outcome just kind of sucks. It's just kind of not good. I don't know, chat. I wish there was better news. But it's 2026 and the card still is not good. So maybe go turn 1 Greenstone for Arbor, then turn 2 go Trudge plus Ouphe. And then turn 3 we could Fight Rigging. You know what? Mox Jasper didn't need to be legendary. I'm gonna say it. That one could have been non-legendary. It would have been fine. I guess the Trudge is kind of more important to resolve than the Ouphe. Although it looks like they're tapping out. Oh. Split one too many. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why do you run always one Dryad Arbor, not more? I play 2 sometimes in Badger Cup decks, but for the most part, it's a tutor target, and you don't want to draw them in your opening hand that often. But and like Quarian Ranger, Badger Cup decks, if I'm playing Quarian Ranger, I'll usually play 2. So they play Mox Amber, they attack with the Tamiyo. The game was rigged from the start, or I didn't really play Fallout New Vegas. Ding ding ding. So maybe I could get. Well, I guess I can't get explosives off Saga, but if I could, I could kill my own Ouphe. Why not? Why shouldn't I try to combo kill them? Why shouldn't I try to combo kill them? It actually might be the right play. So maybe I cast Imri. I think I cast Imri before, or cast Aetherflux Reservoir off Imri before I cast the Outcome. I don't know how I'm getting my Collector Ouphe off the field yet. Oh, I can. Well, so if I attack with the Tamiyo, I can't attack with something big enough. I guess they have some bounce in their deck. Not blocking with the Tamiyo because I want to draw another card. Oh, I can't even bounce tokens. It's a little annoying. I'm saying this like I built their deck. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need not to accept the construct attack into Ouphe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's not exactly clear to me. It does seem like if I'm able to like full combo off, I'll draw into like a sink or something, or boomerang basics. I found another paradoxical outcome. Wait, I can't even really reservoir them because they have to be like at a multiple of 50. Maybe I could deck them. I could target them, but I'll pay 50. Oh, I'll pay 50 deal 50. It's 100. Oh yeah, it's 100. Okay, right. Yeah, but Ouphe is in play, but they have like boomerang basics and stuff in their deck. Well, I just milled one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Uh-oh. Uh It's not my fault. Their deck sucks. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna spin the Urza. Although I'm kind of making their constructs a little bit scary big here. I also kind of need to be mindful maybe about discarding Harbinger to hand size. I don't know. Spin. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna spin again. I don't care. Could have flipped the Tommy to get boomerang. No, Tomio can't minus immediately. I'm just I can't. I'm gonna lose this game. That's okay. That's okay. I win if I hit a bounce spell or a paradoxical outcome. How did I get this? How did I get here? Couldn't you just have one-sided upheavaled them? We could have done a lot of things. We could have done a lot of things up until this point. I wanted to combo off, and I won't apologize for that. I will go to game 3. Yeah, I think that possibly I don't know if I don't know if I had enough mana. I don't know if I had enough mana to kill the Ouphe. But there were possibly mistakes made there. I don't know. Who could really say? This hand would be really good if like this was an imprintable. I think kind of have to mulligan this. This hand's good enough. Gonna prioritize maybe playing the Fanatic turn 2. So if my opponent has Harbinger, we could Harbinger on turn 2. I can play the game. Couldn't you pay? No, I had a Collector Ouphe in play, so I couldn't activate the 8th Flex is the problem. Couldn't you attack the block with Ouphe? I don't know if I had enough mana to, but if I could have, I could have, and if I could have, I should have. You know what I mean? Have you ever conceded controlling someone else's turn before? Yeah, yeah. So I guess I can go Rumble into the Urayo, then play Ouphe and Changeling, kill the Urayo. Well, then I won't have any action after that. I guess we could draw something else. How good is the... I mean, the Ouphe seems pretty good here. I guess. Be good this time, Collector Ouphe. We have 8 Eldrazi mana, 7 regular mana. They have 1 mana, 4 cards in their hand, no land to play for turn. We draw a Rumble, plenty of ability to pay for Rebuke. We find Emrakul or a Trudge. I mean, it's got to be Emrakul, right? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we draw 1 land, we get Emrakul next turn. I guess you can't draw 2 lands for turn. Hello, do you think Just Sky Blink is a good choice? RL, smiley face, thank you. It's fine. I wouldn't say it's good. I'd say it's fine. I think that one big dynamic that Just Sky Blink players think is that they think that they're favored against Boros, but you're actually a slight underdog, usually with how the matchup data shows. Usually it shows you're a slight underdog. And that's bad. That's bad. And I think that you also struggle against a lot of combo decks, and it's fine. I think it's I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not the worst choice you could make. What's an underdog? Not much. What's under with you? I think we might win this one. What the advantage of playing blue white red blink over blue white? Flage and Ragavan. Just guys, a lot of decision points. If you play it optimally, you get punished. I do this Boros is a 55 or 60% matchup play well. So a 60% matchup is like among the best matchups you have in modern. And I just don't think the data shows this. I think if you're playing really well against a Boros player who's playing bad, then you're probably like 55 levels. And I it just like it just isn't 60. It just is lower than that. Why not cast the Amber? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't seem like there was any point to cast it or not to cast it. Hey, Spike, I'm 23 locally and Leonardo Green White. Let's go. Like you as like someone who's like maybe just like at your game store and your sample size is kind of small and you're better than everybody. You might win 60% of the time, but like overall your deck best players against other players, like 60% is like that is like your best matchup in the metagame probably. Here comes the frog. Could cast this next turn. We're the best, worst matchups all time. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of like an example of like the most lopsided matchup in modern history. They go after the Trudge instead of the Fanatic. I think I'm blocking. If they want to discard 3 cards, it's okay. Yeah, Tron, in fact, is like kind of a classic example. Surely there are more lopsided ones. Yeah, Milvish Titan is like people. I don't actually know if I've ever seen the matchup play out, but people always say that matchup's really lopsided. Yeah, Tron Omnath maybe. Yeah, Bird against Boros maybe. I think I might play around Spell Pierce. I'll just be really happy if this resolves. Well, I didn't top deck anything. I was kind of hoping they were going to Fatal Push my Fanatic and I could just Eternalize it. They discard their Orc army. Then they go to combat. I'm going to block. Milver's Titan's got better because the Analyst stuff. Sounds right. Okay, now they fly the frog. Okay. Might be going to game 2 quickly. Maybe Birthing Pod against Tron. That matchup always seemed like so impossible back in the day. Soul Sisters against Twin, I remember always felt really, really dang tough. I guess I'm going to get a Trudge and then try to cast this Turntimber Symbiosis. This is the one analyst's issue. You know, I've played against some Titan gamers that play 2 analysts, and it's like, huh. You sure they sure do let you play more than one copy. Kind of expecting a counterspell. You know, that spell wasn't countered, brother. They might buy the sync back though. Well, Soul Sisters' actual deck. It was the first deck I played on Magic Online. It was like pretty budget friendly, although it wasn't because I would lose so much with it. I would just hemorrhage tickets. But there was just like enough burn on Magic Online that you could like 2-3 every league with Soul Sisters and feel like you had a playable deck. They take up the Tamiyo. That's an interesting draw, especially with the Oasis is in play. Yeah, I definitely like dealt with the analysts and feel like, okay, great, I can't really lose, and then they just play a second one. And it's like, oh my gosh. All right, so they can ultimate the Tamiya next turn. I don't know how Moto works, how much are 100 tickets. It's $100. You know what's kind of funny about that? There's like I follow some poker content, not so much these days, a little bit, and like there's like a website that gets around online gambling by you redeem $1 for one. I think they call them ticket in client, and that lets you that for some reason that lets you play that lets you play poker on the site without getting around any gambling law shenanigans. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then I'm like, wait, it's literally just Magic Online. I was like, that's so dumb, but it's just the same. Okay, I guess what we should do is we should Oasis our Fanatic and then Bridge. Can I play Fanatic first? I think I can. So I go like this, and I get a basic forest. No, I won't have enough green. And to also attack with the Fanatic. Can you cash out Moto tickets for cash? Yes. Although not at a super high rate. Oh, but then they're just going to. I guess I'm gonna lose. I guess what I'm gonna lose is what's gonna happen. Poker is a game of skill, just like Magic. I agree that poker is a game of skill. Although it's kind of weird, right? Where yes, poker is a game of skill, but but a lot of people who are playing it aren't playing it for the skill. You know, that's not their goal. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. We have a Turntimber Symbiosis under the bridge. And so, like, maybe putting an Emrakul into play can beat the Tamiya ultimate? I don't think so. I'm also, like, thought probably way too long about this turn. Yeah, I just can't beat the Tamiya ultimate. But let's just see if they can counter this. Okay. We could so if Turntimber Symbiosis doesn't let you cast the Emrakul is the problem. It just puts it into play. All right, I think against Demir, I don't think I want the Seers. Let's just run it back. So every Friday you pay 100 buckaroos. No, I don't. I don't know what you think. I'm spending 100. Oh, the leagues cost 100 play points to enter. Play points are worth a cent, but you also like you get the stuff back. It's not like Magic Online is the Golden Emperor from Warhammer 40k. You just have to keep feeding play points and tickets to keep it going, and you get nothing in return. It's you get play points and tickets for winning events. Play points are 10 cents. Yeah, that's Arena. That's Arena. Yeah, play points are 10 cents. Okay, I guess we will go Green Sun for Trudge, then maybe Green Sun for Fanatic. I guess Green Sun for Fanatic if they hold up mana, or do I K command? I mean, either way we can K command the frog if they play it turn 2, so I don't need to worry too much. Acting like we don't get warp travel in return. I feel like surely they can hammer that out without the Emperor. Maybe not. Maybe I'm a heretic. Maybe they'd be better off without interstellar travel. Have I brewed Boros Arcanist with Lorehold Charm? I like the charm can reanimate Cutter, buff mode. Let's see, replay it. I guess I haven't. No. Maybe something there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play a Green Sun here. Yeah, we need to play we need to play Primal Speaker's Primal Prayer's Formidable Speaker again. It's been one I've been kind of wanting to update for a while. I guess I sacked the Fanatic. Draw another Fanatic. Kind of think that they have a consign. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of. I don't have a lot to base that off of. I mean, this is not a bad play either. Their thing that pause was definitely like, can I consign this? No, it's an activated ability. So they play a frog. Well, I mean, I'm going to cast a Devourer and a Fanatic, since if they do consign, they can only use one of the modes right now. And also Fanatic taps for 4 mana. It's a lot of mana. So they consign the Exile mode. And I get a 6/6. And then I have another 6/6 untapping next turn. I can buff for 3 with Oasis, so I can attack for 15. I guess I also just have this, so technically I have lethal on the backswing. But they probably will have a counter spell. They discard Harbinger of the Seas, which is the best card in the format against me. It's maybe is it tough to run into it so much? Are there more Harbingers than I think? Is this gonna dissuade me from playing this deck at the challenge tomorrow? It might. They discarded the Harbinger, so maybe they don't know it's so good against me. Maybe they have Unearth. Seems like they're gonna fly a frog, because I'm gonna definitely block, and okay, they do. So I take 6. What's the plan? This is 12, 16. So again, if I sack the Oasis, I force a chump block. Can I think I can go cast Devourer and sack Oasis. I'll have 1 mana floating. So if I did this, this would be not so good into. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna play this end. I'm gonna play Consign and or NK Command and Rumble probably. I don't think I need to just try to force lethal here when they clearly have action. No, they don't consign. Okay. I don't know if I thought through them having two more consigns very well. I guess Disciple of Freyalise is better because it doesn't get got by Force of Negation like my K command does. Does also get got by third consign. I will lose to third consign here. All right, yeah, they fly the frog, discard a card, hit me for 7. Okay, lunchtime. I guess I'm gonna have a good long think tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna play this in the challenge tomorrow. I think I still like the deck a lot. I might play the Wilderness Reclamation deck instead. We'll see. I'm gonna send y'all over to Demonic Tutors. Who's playing?